Hey everyone, Dockwell here, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of broken or potentially broken builds for patch 7.30, and the pros are trying a bunch of stuff out, so they're kind of working out the kinks for a lot of these builds, but they've kind of solidified some of these builds and made them super broken or potentially super broken, so you just have to look out for a bunch of these builds, maybe try them yourself, see how it goes for you in your MMR bracket, in your skill bracket. So let's just jump into it and get to the first hero. The first build we're going to take a look at is Bounty Hunter Offlane. So what they changed about this hero in 7.30 is they made the Shuriken Toss lower cooldown, lower mana, but also lower damage. But it's just more spammable in lane. But the thing is, once Bounty Hunter hits 6 and gets track, the Shuriken Toss actually scales with tracked targets, does more damage to tracked targets, just like Janata. So because of that, you kind of want to get this hero levels and farm so that you can take advantage of those spells. And the other big thing that they did, it's a quality of life thing, but it makes laning with this hero way better, is they made Janata toggleable, which basically means you can turn it on or off. You can choose when to use it. So before, you would have to kind of debate whether you want to use your Janata on the enemy carry or to secure last hits. Now you can pick and choose very carefully, and you can kind of use Janata all the time on the enemy carry if they ever walk up, but then you can just use your normal right click with Janata still available to get last hits. And so it just makes laning so much better on this hero. And then you combine that with the fact that Ags, it's kind of the same as it's always been, but it applies Janata whenever you use Shuriken Toss, and it bounces to other heroes. It makes this hero insane when you rush Ags, and that's what you're going to be doing. So, you basically start out, you lane normally, you take Janata first, you kind of use it as you normally would, but this time you can use it better because it's toggleable. Then you put some about 2 points in Shuriken Toss, and then just max Janata, get track, the normal kinds of things, maybe get 1 point in Invis if you need it here and there. And then you can also build normal offlane items. Vanguard is still pretty broken. I've even seen Ice go Mage Slayer first if you think that you really need the magic resistance and you're really going to be up in people's faces. And then you pretty much want to rush Ags, and with that you can get so much gold on this hero. The extra gold with track kills, and then the extra gold from Janata and the Shuriken Tosses applying Janata with Ags, it's just insane. I've seen Bounty Hunter offlanes be top net worth. I've played this myself and I get so much gold. It's just crazy how good this hero is with this build. Now, in the future, I think, the pros like Ice or whoever are going to, tinker with this build a little bit more, make it a little bit more refined and make it good, but I think this will be good into the future. So watch out for Bounty Hunter offlane, watch out for the Ags build, and look forward to it. Try it in your games, experiment with it, but yeah, this is basically one of the broken builds for 7.30. Similar to Bounty, it's Riki. And this is going to be Riki offlane. It actually has like a 60% win rate in pro level pubs right now. And this build is a 7.30 build, but it's actually kind of a holdover from last patch that was sort of developing over time. And what this is it's basically a Meteor Hammer rush into the dart, the Ags Shard dart. And you can also get other things like Aether Lens, Octarine Core, those kinds of things. But it's like a support Riki build, because you can obviously Meteor Hammer waves, so it makes farming very easy, and you can do it from Invis. And then once you get your dart, that stun on the Ags Shard dart is insane. It's a super long range, and then that's why you can mix in Aether Lens and things like that. So it is even longer range. And then the stun is forever. Obviously you wake them up when you do damage, but then you can channel the stun of the Meteor Hammer over top of them. You can wait for your teammates to all catch up before you, go on them. It's just super OP, super overpowered right now. It's also being played in 4 position. You can kind of just go the normal build, normal skill build. It's not really too big of a deal what you go. You kind of go the Blink Strike, other things like that. But then you just want to be building into Meteor Hammer first. You want to be building into Aether Lens, and then obviously get the Shard at 20 minutes whenever you can, pushing out waves with Meteor Hammer, pushing towers with Meteor Hammer. It's kind of this weird support build, and then you can kind of transition into like a core a little bit later, but you still want to be focusing on, causing chaos in team fights and this kind of thing from the offlaner forward position. So that is the Riki build, something you can definitely try in your games. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. It's really OP right now, and so that's another really broken build for 7.30. So the next build is the Helm of the Overlord. So in a lot of people's patch notes, including mine, we said that, Helm of the Overlord is either going to be completely busted or probably still underwhelming, and it turns out it's completely busted. And basically, it's pretty obvious. You either pick this up on Beastmaster or Lycan. Now, with Lycan specifically, he also had buffs to his wolves, which allow him to, get the shard and push lanes, and combined with Helm of the Overlord, you sort of hit this 15 to 20 minute timing where you can just run down towers, and it's insane. The amount of damage you do with just Helm of the Overlord is crazy. And then you add that 20-minute shard into it as well, and you're just pushing lanes constantly. There's like nothing the enemy can do. In fact, you can pretty much just rat to win the game with the combination of his shard, his Helm of the Overlord, and even like his Ags if you want, things like that. So it's just crazy. You almost like don't even really go carry on Lycan. You can just go these weird not support, but you can go these other builds that are around, pushing, and then maybe just like an AC or something, and you can just rat and push down towers and everything before any of these heroes that are usually really good come online, like the Medusa, the Gyro, the Luna, the heroes that are still good this patch, but Lycan can come online way earlier. And so that's the same thing with Beastmaster, because Beastmaster's, abilities were buffed, and then Helm of the Overlord is now buffed. So Beastmaster is a similar kind of thing. You basically just rush this item, and now you are this insane hero that can just push down every outer tower before any other hero comes online. So I think this could be the big thing that changes up the meta, because if these two heroes are getting picked and they're rushing this, and it's just owning in pro level pubs, then we might see the carries and the other heroes change to try to deal with this specifically. So it's a huge deal. Try it in your pubs. Just watch a replay. It's very simple. You kind of just play the hero, but you just rush this item, and you just dominate the game. It's crazy how fast you can win the game with this item. So that's another broken build for 7.30. The next broken build we're going to take a look at is actually Tinker. And I want to say Tinker support because Tinker support, people have been trying to play it. Higher level players have been trying to play it because it seems like, it's really good at harassing. If you get some levels, you just have your boots immediately. It can turn into a core. And I think that may be viable in the future. But actually, I think this hero is just OP mid still, because you can still farm. It's not the best at farming, but really, you don't need to farm nearly as fast as you did before. I think this hero is going to turn into sort of like a lane dominating and an also ganking hero, because now, as soon as you hit 6 at around 5 minutes, you can basically TP to all the lanes, give people this shield that is insane, and helps them with status resistance and like damage block and all of that kind of stuff. And now you can just TP to all lanes around 5 minutes whenever you want and help them never lose towers. I think basically as a mid hero, this hero is going to be completely broken because it still is able to farm, not as fast, but fairly quickly. It can TP everywhere like way quicker. Now you basically just need Blink. That's all you need for this hero to come online. And so you can get that pretty quickly because it's the first item you're basically rushing. And so it's more of like a ganking hero. It's more of a side lane hero that you can defend towers. I think this hero is going to be completely busted because of the way they changed it. They basically just gave this hero 2,500 free gold at level 6. And then you can still get March at level 20 if you need it and you're losing the game and you need to defend towers. So this hero is going to be completely broken. I think it might be a good support in the future if we see how the pros develop it. Right now it's not doing so well. I think it's, has a 30-some% win rate. Maybe if they get the support build, up to snuff in like a really customized way that makes sense, it'll be OP. But I think this hero is actually just broken itself as a traditional mid hero like it always is, and you play it in a very similar way, except early on, instead of just farming for your, boots of travel and blink, you're actually just rotating around the map and just destroying people in lanes because of your laser, your AoE laser, your, defensive capabilities with defense matrix and all of that stuff. So that is another potentially broken build for 7.30. So this next broken build or potentially broken build is not something I'm particularly happy about, and I don't think any of you will be either, but this build is Broodmother, and that it was nerfed. It used to be really strong last patch, and now, you know, the webs were nerfed. Now it doesn't have speed and stuff, but they gave it this Ags, and this Ags basically puts these traps, invisible traps, around the map anywhere you want, and it takes them a little bit to like generate, but then they cause the heroes to get stuck in them, and you get vision, and they have like a 4-second route, and you can just put this anywhere, literally anywhere. You can put this in the enemy's base, you can put this at any ramp that you want, and when I first read it, I was like, this seems kind of bad, like why would you use this? And then I saw people play it, and I was completely wrong. This thing is completely broken. You can put one down, stun somebody, and then put another one down right on top of it and just like basically perma-stun them as long as you have them available. You can put them all over the map. If you are winning ever, if you're snowballing ever, which Brood tends to do, you can just get Ags. You can put these traps everywhere in the whole map. You can just, you know, put them all around the triangle, in the entire jungle. You can put them in the enemy's base. You can put them at their tier 2. You can basically make them not able to leave or walk anywhere without you knowing and without you rooting them forever. It's insane. It's extremely OP. I hope, honestly, for your sake, for my sake, for everyone's sake, that this doesn't catch on, that it actually sucks and I'm just wrong here, and I'm just, you know, delusional from 1 or 2 games that I saw it, but I think it's actually going to make Brood better in a lot of ways, despite the web nerf, so it may actually just be crazy in your pubs. I hope it's not, I hope I'm wrong, but from what I've seen, this could be a potentially extremely broken 7.30 build. So the last 2 builds are kind of honorable mention builds. I don't think they're super broken, but you could potentially see them becoming more common, and the hero and the position as well. So the first one is Dazzle mid, similar to Winter Wyvern last patch, but now that Dazzle has that Q, the poison touch that like basically infinitely slows people when you're chasing them down, it's not as good just like mid laning, but I think it's really, really good like when you gank side lanes in the game in general. You can slow people down after just a few hits to like basically become immobile and just they can't run anywhere, they cannot escape. And with this hero's like cooldown reduction and all the stuff that it has, and the level 10 talent of 50 damage, which is a lot of damage, this hero can be really, really good with the armor reduction and everything like that. I think Dazzle mid could be like a sleeper mid that becomes a huge thing this patch. We'll have to wait and see. I could be wrong. I think it still could be a really, really good 5-position support in the side lane with the way the Q works now. But I think Dazzle mid may become a real thing. And the last one, the last honorable mention, is Kunkka with the new Silver Edge. So I think with this build, you basically just go mid, you do all the same things. I think you go Armlet, and then you can go Silver Edge, you know, as a second, third, whatever item, and you basically just can pop out of, you know, you turn your Armlet on, you go Invis, and then you can pretty much one-hit supports, sort of like the old Kunkka did with, you know, Rapiers and Daedalus and stuff like that, but this works pretty well, and it does a lot with Kunkka, and then you add that little bit of damage, that surprise damage, that teamfight damage, with everything else that Kunkka does, with his boat, with his Ags, and all of that. I think this hero could potentially become broken this patch. It's not maybe as broken as some of these other builds, but Kunkka could become one of the more popular mids, so look out for that. Look out for that build. Try these builds in your pubs, and that is my video on the broken builds for 7.30. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this. Maybe go out and try these builds for yourself if you want. It might be a little bit risky. You may lose some MMR. I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to win, but I think a lot of these builds are really OP. They are, big right now. Some of them may even get nerfed before TI. That's how good they are. So, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those kinds of things. As I say always at the end of the video, if you want me to take a look at one of your replays, let me know in the comments. I'll get the ID from you, and I'll take a look, probably make a video for you. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.